Salutations everyone, and welcome to another Smash video where today we're going to be talking about my overall thoughts on Sora. Now that the character's been out for a while, we've all had some time to, get our first impressions out of the way, some misconceptions, and there's been a lot of pro players, even some of the best in the world, spreading some incorrect information about the character. Some have not though, obviously, some of the more older, wiser ones. And we've seen Sora, in small locals and tournaments and stuff like that. So we all know we have a much more firmer grasp on what the character is capable of and what he'll be doing in the future. I don't feel like there are any issues with Sora when it comes to DLC characters. People tend to think of the two extremes: either this character is useless or this character is super broken, overpowered. Oh my gosh, they're ruining the game. And it tends to be the latter, and a lot of people were saying that with Sora because of his ability to kill off the top, honestly, with up B and sometimes side B. But I feel like Sora is a really good character. He doesn't have any wacky nonsense like all the other, most of the other DLC characters. And Sakurai, addressed this, and that's obviously on purpose because Sora was the most requested character, the most wanted character. So you're going to want to make him to be accessible, since more people wanted him in the game than any other character in any video game ever. So it makes total sense that you wouldn't want it to be something wacky, something really difficult and weird for his kit. So there's nothing super unique about him. He's a big, super floaty, disjoint weapon, a sword, if you will, with the Keyblade. And he's a bit of a zoner. He's a zoner, bait and punisher kind of a guy. It's a unique type of character. No one plays quite like him, but there's nothing wacky about him. Like, his neutral B cycles between 3 different things. That's not really all that wacky, even if we're looking at some base characters and some of the things that they can do. Like Pokemon Trainer, switch between 3 characters is way wackier than anything Sora can do, and we're just going to go ahead and kill that Charizard right off the top because up special is awesome. And Sora as a character is everything that I wanted him to be. His moveset, the moves that he uses, how he plays, the fact that we got the magic, and you gotta tech those even at 0%, baby. So he's not too strong and he's not too weak. You have to really dedicate your movements with Sora. He is highly punishable. He has a lot of end lag on a lot of moves. He's also super duper floaty. He can be challenged anywhere. He doesn't have a ton of fast options. He doesn't have a lot of out of shield options. There are only 2 of his moves that hit behind him. The first hit of Nair and down smash. Nothing else hits behind him. He has 2 throws that can kill. Back throw, the stronger one. Up throw, about what you would expect from like Marth's up throw, right? Like, yeah, it'll kill eventually, like a lightweight starting in the like 175 area. So it is definitely nice that he has a lot of different options. He has no useless moves, which is something typical of DLC characters, which a lot of launch characters, do not get the benefit of. Is that all of his moves are useful. There is a use for every single move that he has. There's nothing that you want to stray away from, or like, there's no like Falcon Punch where it's like, yeah, it can be useful, but it's like, you're never going to see that in like pro play. It's too telegraphed, it's too slow. No matter how big the reward is, the risk is just way too high. He doesn't have anything, even in that era where, but he also doesn't have like, rollout from Jigglypuff or egg rollout or whatever Yoshi's is called. People do complain about his ability to recover from anywhere, but he is edge guardable. He's not even the most difficult character to edge guard in the game. And he's not difficult to edge guard as some other characters. Like, people's like, oh man, no one can edge guard him. It's like, are you guys forgetting Snake, the character that's been in the game since launch? This dude is still the edgeguard man. He still edgeguards better than Sora, and he can edgeguard Sora as well. And then you have characters like, you know, sometimes Byleth can be quite difficult to edgeguard, and Joker is really, really difficult to edgeguard. Bayonetta is also much more difficult to edgeguard than Sora, so he is not invincible in any respect of the game. He's also super duper lightweight, which is to be expected with that floatiness. But he's also a fun character. There's quite a bit of his kit that I feel is overrated. While his down tilt is good, it's not something you can just spam in neutral, you know, like a Marthena down tilt or a Kirby down tilt. It's much too slow and has a lot of end lag. It does set up to a lot of things, and it's a lot a good move to reset combos, especially off of jab resets on, say, like Faraga. On a mistech, especially on platforms, you can get a lot there. And down tilt sets up to up tilt at, I think starting like at, you know, high teens %. And you can combo into up smash, but down tilt can get DI'd. You can read that DI for different types of combos, but you can't just down tilt into the same things over and over again. And it's not something that you can spam. It's not going to be very safe on shield. You can mix up his fair first single and third hits as well as Nair, and those you can space out on shield. Back air is decent on shield, so he has some options. Out of shield, he doesn't have an insane option, but he's got some good options. Nair out of shield is pretty decent. You can back air out of shield, and you can up special out of shield. Also, his grabs are useful. They kind of have to be, because Sora really struggles at approaching. He doesn't have a ton, like a ton of speed. He's got a really good dash attack because it has invincibility on his front foot, and it goes a decent amount of distance, and you can use it basically as you would a Mario dash attack. And that can two-frame and is very, very good on the ledge, especially to punish people that are, you know, holding onto ledge too much, which some people think that is safe to do against Sora. His spells, I feel like, all have a usefulness. The Faraga is really good at getting those jab locks, especially if you knock someone up onto a platform and they miss that tech. You can jab lock with Faraga, and you have plenty of time to get onto the platform, down tilt into an up tilt, or down tilt into you know, fair string or nair string. And you know, his recovery, while it is good, sometimes with lag and internet and not having the exact right timing, will result in a decent amount of SDs. If you're going to down air, you have to double jump right away and then up special, and that window to to side special after up special is relatively small. You can buffer it. It's not very difficult to do, but it's something that can be inconsistent, especially with this Smash Ultimate internet connection that we are all very, very much familiar with. Blizzaga is decent, especially at catching pretty much all of your get-up options off of ledge. And, you know, you can time the mash out and, you know, get some decent damage off of it. So it's not useless. And it's got some deceptively good range, you know, better than your Ice Climbers down special with the same effect. And then Thundaga, while it is good, I feel like is overrated. It is strong and can kill very early. You can kill some lightweights as early as like 80% on that third hit. But there is a lot of blind spots in a lot of Sora's moves, and Thundaga is one of them. It has a huge blind spot right in front of him, and you can bob and weave in between any of those three hits without a ton of trouble, especially if your character has some decent recovery. While you might see a lot of Sora's spam, oh, and then we're gonna do a little bit of Sonic Blading off the top, because even if you miss that up special, if they try to get cute and press their luck, you can punish them with the side special and get that kill off the top. I don't feel like that is too strong. It is easy to avoid. And it is also very, very high risk, because then you're just special falling from basically the top of the entire stage. So while Sora has a lot of good things going for him, he is highly punishable, and a lot of his moves have a ton of blind spots. And then also you have your triple hits on forward tilt, nair, and forward air. That if you miss one, or you can your opponent can DI out of it, or they can fall out of it. All of them are fall outable. Less so with forward tilt, but with forward air and neutral air, your opponent can fall out of those. And if you have committed those button presses to getting at least the second, if not the third hit of it, then you're in a ton of punishable lag there. Down tilt is also not going to be very good at two framing. Your forward tilt is the single hit forward tilt is much better at two framing, as well as your dash attack. So I see a lot of people trying to down tilt at the ledge to try to two frame like you would with a lot of similar looking down tilts in the game. But that's definitely not your best bet. You're more likely going to have success with your forward tilt and your dash attack. So he doesn't have the great ledge trap options, but his offstage obviously is where he's going to shine. You are going to have to get decent reads, especially if your opponent has even a decent recovery kit. Obviously, you have that counter, which can be good for punishing those more telegraphed recoveries, or those ones that throw out a hitbox, especially your vertical ones like Ike's or like Chroms or Kirby's. All of those will be punishable with counter. But I feel like with Sora's weight and with his big blind spots, as well as the sheer amount of end lag and commitments that his kit brings, I do not feel that he is too strong at all. You'll see a lot of people spamming Sonic Blade online, but that is just such a risky thing to do. Sonic Blade is really something you only want to do if you know you can hit, because if you miss with Sonic Blade, and there's been so much information about Sonic Blade, people are saying that if you hit it and the opponent's near the ledge, it's going to auto-target. It only auto-targets if you mash it, but if you space it out like your Pikachu quick attacks, then you will be able to get right to ledge or past an opponent's shield. You don't have to, go at them or not use it at all. There are different ways to use it. You can also stop it after the first hit or the second hit. It's a good mix-up option to keep your opponent honest, to keep them thinking about that option. But it's not something you're ever going to want to spam, especially in neutral, because of how punishable it is going to be. And while Thundaga is quite strong, it's not going to be the easiest thing to hit. And I feel like his kit is pretty balanced. I don't feel like he needs any buffs. I don't feel like he needs any nerfs. We haven't seen any bugs. We haven't seen any crazy broken combos with him. We're all used to seeing those Twitter day one combos where 90% of them are not true at all. Most of them are done on training dummies. And we've seen Sora also in tournament action, where the vast majority of the time he is getting annihilated by these more traditional characters. His lightweight and the commitment that he takes, as well as his lack of speed on a lot of his moves, is really, really hurting him, and he's losing to a lot of your lower tier, top tiers, as well as your mid tiers. Obviously most of these are locals. And, the Sora Ditto is... I hate Dittos. I really suck at all Dittos in Sora Ditto. Well, it's not the worst Ditto in the world. It can be not fun. The down air is also, I feel like, another move that you only want to keep in your back pocket. It is a mix-up option. It is not something you're ever going to want to use a lot. It's highly punishable, and it has very, very bad priority. If you've done a lot of Sora Dittos where one's up in the air and they're down airing while you're up specialing, it seems like a very weird interaction, but it's all about the spacing of that disjoint, where that up air is going to be able to hit, because the down air is very fast. But if you don't space the up special correctly, then the down air is going to hit, and with Sora being super lightweight and you already being so high that you're going for that up special, Sora's going to be dying, like 80 in that Ditto. So while down air is a decent move, you're basically only going to want to use it for edge guarding those deep recoveries to get those stage spikes, as well as maybe steal their double jump or things like that. but there's a lot of end lag. It's not safe on shield, and it has very, very low priority. So it's mostly a landing mix-up as well as something you're going to want to do off stage to hit those people that are rather low and can be very, very much hurt in their recovery game if that down air can connect. And as far as his throws go, they all find their use. Back throw is going to be your main kill throw. Up throw will kill eventually, and especially against characters that might have trouble landing. Up throw, it might be your best option at 0% because you will not be able to combo down throw into anything at 0, but down throw is going to be your main combo throw. Down throw into fair especially, and there's a lot of mix-ups that you can do with going into fair 1-2, mixing it up, throwing in a down tilt after the first or second fair. Obviously, we've all seen the Nair 1-2 string, Nair 1-2 string, Nair 1-2 string into various types of things. Those, I don't feel like those are too strong. I don't feel like anything in Sora's kit is too strong. His smash attacks are usable, his throws are usable, and like I said, with his lack of speed and approaching options, his throws are actually necessary. He has a terrible grab range, especially his standing grab range. His pivot grab and his dash grab are going to be a little bit better, but nothing amazing compared to the rest of the cast. But you are going to need to use those grabs and those throws in neutral a lot more often to punish your opponent's shielding, because, you know, your dash attack is going to be a very big threat to them. It can combo into itself. It can eventually kill, especially if it's fresh at you know, the 150 range, even for like mid weights if you have rage yourself. So there's a lot of different things that he can do in neutral, but not a lot of it is safe. So he's going to want to get a lot of those grabs, since you know, approaching with your fairs and your nairs and even your back airs can be punished quite a lot, and his projectiles are going to be different every time that you use them. You're not going to be able to just do fire and then wait out and then fire and then dash and then maybe fire again. You're only going to be able to use that fire one time, unless of course you are spamming it. And his smash attacks, thankfully, all have their uses, and they're all decent kill options. Your forward smash has a pretty good lingering hitbox, and that hits as well as it needs to. It doesn't kill super duper early, but it also, you know, you don't have to get them to, you know, even 120 to get those kills, especially punishing those unsafe landings that people might be tending to do because of how much damage you can do by simply juggling them. Your up air is very, very strong. It's like, you play with Sora's up air and you'd be like, why did Corrin get nerfed again? Because this feels fine, you know? So, you know, sad day for Corrin fans that, you know, her up air is still useless and not, you know, useful as it used to be. So as you can see, this dude definitely spaced out my Sonic Blade perfectly there. I thought, you know, I could reach him, but totally took advantage of all that end lag in the world that is present. So I don't feel like Sora, I wouldn't be surprised if he wasn't a high tier. I wouldn't be surprised if he was. A lot of people are saying, oh, he's like bottom, top tier, or high tier. I don't know why I'm interchanging those, but, you know, people kind of tend to do anyways. He's definitely not, he's not your top tier. I feel like he's at best high tier. But I feel like he might just be, you know, like top of mid. He's got some really good tools, but he's highly exploitable, highly comboable, highly punishable, and he doesn't have like broken, janky shit. A lot of people have compared him to Bayonetta. He's nothing like Bayonetta, and his Sonic Blade is nowhere near what Bayonetta's side B and up B combos can even do in this game, let alone what they could do in Smash 4. So people making those comparisons, yes, I know even some top players in the world that I'll never beat in my life, they are incorrect in that assessment. They've been incorrect about characters before, and this is going to be no different. But with his floatiness and his kill power, I feel like he's in a pretty good spot. I don't, just because he's the character that I've wanted in this game, you know, since they started adding DLC characters, and I made plenty of videos talking about that, either when I'm playing Smash or when I'm playing Kingdom Hearts. In the past, I don't feel like he needs to be buffed because he's like my favorite character, and he's going to be my main because I said it. I said it like 6 years ago. If Sora gets added, he's going to be my main. I don't care if he's bottom tier or if he's top tier. I'm going to play him because I love Kingdom Hearts and I love Sora. So, you know, yeah, he's going to be my main, and obviously I still love Kirby, and I'll play a ton of Kirby, as well as any of the other characters like, you know, Fox, Sheik, or Lucina that I do enjoy playing. But I'm going to want to try to make Sora work, and I don't feel like he needs to be buffed. I don't feel like he needs to be nerfed. He doesn't have any weird jank shit that, you know, true combos at 50 or 60 or even 70%. He's got a lot of unsafe options, and he's got a lot of strong options that are really good at whiff punishing. So I feel like he's in a really good spot. You know, his up smash is strong. Down smash has that invincibility, but it's not too much because it's just on startup, and then it's just on his legs, and then it's just not at all. It's good for covering rolls. He can cover a lot of options, and it's really going to come up to your mix-up game and how well you are good at taking those punish opportunities and zoning people out, especially those that can zone very well themselves, like one of the kings of zoning here, Joker, with his guns and with his side special. He can edge guard Sora better than Sora can edge guard him, especially if he has Arsene and with the Tetra Kakarn is much better than Sora's counter. Sora's counter also, while people complain about that, it might see it as too strong, and you can see it counteract Wonder Wing and killing at like 30 or 40, whatever like that, and I'm sure he could do the same with Flare Blitz. It has a big blind spot. You can't hit behind you if you don't use it right, and it has a big blind spot below you as well, whereas Joker's Tetrakarn with Arsene does not have the blind spot anywhere. And, you know, a lot of people are used to missing those with Joker a lot, or, you know, maybe some of your other counters, and see that the back air out of shield there is a pretty good option. Pretty nice comeback there. And I like the character. I like everything about his kit. Nothing's useless, nothing's too strong, and nothing is too weak. So let me know what you guys think about Sora in the comments below. And I'm just going to keep playing him because he's also a lot of fun.